Hey, how you doing? Hey, this is Admin from PlexGuide. So we're doing a quick video on Liddar. And so Liddar is basically like radar slash sonar, but for music. These are one of these programs that it's, it's come a long way. The interface is nice. It's really easy to work with. The only thing, the question is, it just depends how much effort you want to put into using Liddar or, the older program headphones. Um, Music these days is very obtainable. It's not me trying to give you a lecture, but because like you got services like Spotify, Apple Music, and they make it really easy for you to use. The question is, how much effort do you want to put in this? Part of the problem is that obtaining music through um, torrents and news groups is semi-difficult because some of the song availability is difficult to find, and there's not really a great way to organize all your albums, and there's a lot of manual work that has to be done. But um, some of you may choose to pursue this path, and if so, the program is built into PlexGuide to assist you. And the cool thing is that it's all set up where you can point Plex right at it, and they now even advertise Title, which is Title, like near $20 a month. So, but anyways, we're going to go ahead and bring up the program. So I'm just going to go ahead and type PlexGuide. So right now this is 7.512, which has literally been adjusted for Liddar and has been part of this rewrite series. So as most of you know, that we're putting a lot of effort into making sure that these applications are straight because there's been a lot of great work. So we're going to go ahead and launch PGBox, and we're going to go ahead and launch Liddar. And then we're going to go ahead and again, this is for the news hosting side configuration. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick one. Let's do NZB Git. And then we're going to do, might as well just install it, Zab NZBD, just to show some side tips. And then do deploy. And then pick an image, no cron jobs. And I mean, for your purposes, you can do cron jobs. This is just to kind of speed up the installation. So you can see that PGBox allows you to queue your apps that you want to select install, makes it pretty quick. Before, you had to kind of do it one by one. And even before that, we had a rugged sub menu where you kind of had to dig through all the apps. So a lot of feedback over time has helped to develop this program. But yeah, it's been pretty great. Okay, so we see NZB Git installing. So right now it's rewriting the configuration file and the paths and everything for you to make life easy for you. If you are watching this video, just make sure to either pay attention to this or to pay attention to the wiki, because there's some slight adjustments that you have to make that we really can't compensate for, like turning the analyze video off, because if you forget that, that'll help you with API bans. Actually incur them. If you forget the lowercase, like one of the categories for connecting, it won't work. So there's little tidbits like that. Okay, so it looks like everything's installed. So I'm going to go ahead and let's bring up Liddar. And Liddar was port 8686. And Liddar has come a long way. I've dealt with the Sonar beta a little bit, and you notice that it kind of follows that format. So Liddar kind of led the front on it. I'm not pretty clear on the relationship between Liddar, radar, and Sonar, but you can tell that they kind of work together indirectly. So it's going to bring this beautiful interface up for you. Looks very nice, kind of easy to work with. There's only some very key things that you have to do. So first of all, before you even attempt to do this with news groups, make sure that you have an indexer and you have a news server. So indexer, you can find generally the forum. If you need a news hosting program, like a news server, just go to the wiki, click, the one of the ones you see that we have posted, and news hosting is a pretty good one, I would recommend. But the problem you're going to run into with Liddar is that the general indexers are not going to be very helpful in finding content. You kind of need to use like headphone special service. So why it's like that, I don't understand. I think a lot of people don't post music as much these days. And honestly, if you're doing this just for the music, it's better just to pay for the stuff, because for headphones, you're going to be paying for here, let's just go ahead and go to indexers. Yeah. So for the indexers VIP, you're going to pay $2 a month for this, right? So you're already paying $2 a month. You're already losing some money that could already went to one of the other things. So, and then if you have something else that's going to eat some more money, and then by the time you have a downloading server from a news hosting, the kind of costs kind of equalize each other. So again, I'm just trying to help you with this before you decide to, lump a bunch of money if this is only for these particular reasons. So with headphones, what you're going to do is all you need to do is log in with your username and password, hit test and save, and you're good to go. They seem like they're really easy to talk to. My past experiences in dealing with them, it's not easy to recover your prior password. So make sure that when you have a username and password, you have it saved in a very good location, because it's going to be very difficult to recover it. I think the admin is one person, or it might be two, and they're kind of a little slow to respond, but that was my experience years ago. So obviously you're going to need to configure the indexer, and then you're going to need to configure your download client. So your download client is going to be nzbgit, or it's going to be zabnzbd. So one of those two. So just be aware that if you just install the programs like I did, the default password is going to be PlexGuide. So you have to remember that. So we're going to go ahead and do a client. So here's nzbgit. So name, you can name it whatever you want. This is just for generality, right? Here, you're not going to leave it as local host. The cool thing is because of port guard, nap guard, and all that other stuff, it's just easy to type the name of the program. So I'm just going to type nzbgit. You do not need to, you can go ahead and type this in, that'll work. You can go ahead and type in a subdomain and domain, that will work, just depending how you want to get there, but just type this. This is all from Docker. So if we take the username here, and then we just go ahead and type admin, or no, it's not admin, Plex, and then guide. And then here's the category. So this is the thing you're gonna have to pay attention to, like in the wiki. So if you're using, trying to confuse myself here. If you're using nzbgit, you're gonna need the category, but it's pretty easy. Just make sure you lowercase the m, right? There's no way around that. If you do that, you should be good to go. So knock on wood, and you see it worked, right? You can also do like what we talked about here is the IP address, right? But it's just best to leave the Docker container name, right? You see it worked? And then I'm just going to put some bogus address here, and you can see that it's not happy with that. So that's all you have to do, really. And just to show you what we're talking about with zabnzbd, so we're going to type zabnzbd, or actually I'm back out because it's nzbgit. Huh. Okay. I had to scroll down. I knew it wasn't going crazy. So I'm going to type zabnzbd. And then what I'm going to go ahead and type is zabnzbd here. Right? Same concept, port 8080. What you need to do is you need to put your API key. So there's no way around this one. 1 second. Okay, welcome back. Didn't have my hotkey set up properly. So anyways, this is zabnzbd, right? So when you go here, it's going to take you to a little wizard. It's sometimes helpful, sometimes it's not. Usually, if you don't feel like doing anything, you just need to type like one thing in, and then you can hit next, or it's gonna force you. So next, and then you're just going to go to zabnzbd, and then you can tell that, yeah, there's just like general issues with it. And it's for other reasons. It's not because of this program. It's because I didn't do certain things. So if you look at the settings here, you need to get the API key. So nzbgit doesn't require you to do this, but they require you to get the API key. See? So API key. See, if you don't do that, it won't work. And then the default username is Plex, and then guide. And again, you can change this. So if you change it here, then it will change there. The music category, there's no category. Make sure you delete that out, because if you leave music in there, even uppercase, it's not going to like you, right? If you leave it blank, it's going to tell you categories recommended. Don't worry about it. And other than that, you hit save. And that's pretty much it. So nzbgit or zabnzbd, they're pretty much easy to set up. For other options here, there's not really much that you really have to do unless you just really like tweaking things. Leave the port number alone. If you want to add authentication to this, you can, so that there's a username and password. There's an API key here. I haven't come across where you need the API key for Liddar for anything, but yeah, who knows? So some beyond me right now. User interface, not really much to do there. The only thing is, I know with Sonar and Radar, there's like an analyze video, and that will slow down your scans a lot and help you with API bans. I'm not sure if it's in this. If I do, I'll make sure I put it in the wiki. I highly doubt they have it in here because scanning stuff is not as intense. So I'm just doing a double check here. And I apologize, I'm not as familiar with the program. I haven't used it lately. So yeah, that's not there. Oh, crap, there's showed advanced. So let's see here. So it's good we're doing this together, right? So you don't have to mess with that. You don't have to mess with this. You don't have to shell. I remember when I first played with all this, I was messing with these values because I didn't know what I was doing. Just leave it alone. It's a Docker container. One thing I didn't really talk about is profiles. I don't care about what profile I have. You can do any, or you can set it just kind of like how Radar Sonar does. So you can look at that if you want. You don't need to mess with this. Our download client is good. Yep. Really shouldn't be much there. Tags, general. I just like to do one thorough review because if you see anything, you can definitely help us out, right? UI. Yep. Okay. I do not see anything there. So this program, a lot of people when they have issues, they fail to pay attention to the logs. So if you go here, again, we didn't configure anything properly, but if you go to events, it's going to give you indicators of stuff like failed requests, this cannot connect to that. The part where this is really useful is when things are not uploading, because in both Liddar, Zab, or NZB Git, they're going to tell you things and be like permission failed or this cannot connect to this because of this. So please check out the events log before you really do much of anything. But other than that, that's pretty much it. It's kind of easy to run. Whenever I get the torrent stuff up and going, because I dread torrents, because I don't know, it's just my opinion. Some people like the rare things you can find, but I always kind of joke. It's like, that's why you kind of make Plex friends, so they can kind of get the rarity of things for you. You have to maintain a VPN, then you got to play this game of seeding, and then you're paying for it. It doesn't make a lot of sense where, NZBs, you can just pull direct and not worry about security issues because you download a report 563. But other than that, please feel free to like, subscribe, donate, visit the forums, all the good stuff, being part of the community. And I appreciate what everybody does. Other than that, I appreciate your time. You have a good one.